Hey everyone, it's Stephanie here with a video to share featuring the new October card kit from Simon Says Stamp. For my card, I'm going to be using the great stamp set that comes in the kit called What's Brewing, as well as some of the other elements in the kit, including the pattern papers and the great wood icons from Prima. So to start my card, I'm going to use the large mug and stamp that on some Nina Solar White cardstock using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm using this ink because I'm going to be coloring the image with Copic markers. And you can see there when I stamped it the first time, I had a little bit of ink in the center area of the cup and it ended up transferring onto my paper. So I just stamped it a second time and made sure to put the pressure around the stamped image and not press really too much on the inside, just in case any ink had transferred to that inside area of the stamp. So now that I have it stamped on there, I'm going to go ahead and color it with the different colors that I want to do. I'm just using some brown colors for the inside of the mug there, just to make it look like it's got coffee in it. And then I'm just going to speed it up here as I continue to color it. I'm just doing a little bit of shading on the inside with the browns. I didn't do too much. And now for the outside of the cup, I'm going to be using grays. And I'm using all cool grays. I think C100 is what I started with. And then I think I used C3 and C5 to add some darker color. The C5 I only added to the rim of the mug and then just on the inside edges there. And then once I had all the dark colors out kind of on the outside, I used my lighter color and just kind of blended that around until I had it kind of how I wanted it. It has a little bit of, didn't blend perfectly smooth, and I kind of like that it didn't, just because I think it just makes the mug look like it has a little bit of texture to it. So I really like how the colors turned out when I did the coloring. And then as it dried back, it did smooth out a little bit more. So it ended up being the perfect gray color that I wanted and is light enough so that when I do my face on the front of it, it's really going to stand out. So now I'm going to use the glasses from the wood icon that come in the kit, and I really like these because they fit perfectly on this mug stamp. And I don't know if that was intended, but it just works out perfectly that if you want to go for kind of a more silly card where you're actually using the glasses on the mug, these fit perfectly right across the mug area. So I decided right away that I thought this would be a really cute idea. And then there's these great face stamps that also come in the stamp set. So I'm going to use the one here with the tongue sticking out and go ahead and stamp that onto the mug as well. But since I have the glasses and I want to create the glasses and have googly eyes for his eyes, I'm not stamping the eye area on that stamp, I just stamped the mouth. So I went ahead and stamped that with the same tuxedo black ink and then colored in the tongue with some pink, two pink colors. There's a very slight amount of shading on there just for a little bit of shadow, but since it's such a small area, it's really hard to tell, but I did do it. And then I also went ahead and added some glossy accents to the back of the glasses. And earlier I had colored the glasses with a black Copic marker because I really wanted them to be like the office-y black type glasses. Once I had them adhered onto his onto the mug, I went ahead and put some googly eyes in the center. I drew on a nose just with a black pen, and then I went ahead and added Wink of Stella glitter to the front of the glasses, and then I completely coated them with glossy accents. And when this dries, it just gives them that great plasticky glass look, and they just look really realistic on the mug there. So really cool. I love how they turned out, and I just think it's the cutest little mug ever. So once I went ahead and fully adhered that, or fully put those on there, I set this aside to dry. It'll take a little bit for all the glossy accents to dry since it is a pretty thick layer. And I'm going to go ahead and assemble the rest of the card while that's drying. So I just went ahead and took some of the striped pattern paper from the kit, just a small amount, and I took the You Mocha Me Crazy sentiment, which is my favorite from the kit, and I just think it's so funny to pair it with this great mug with the glasses. I just think it's so funny. So I went ahead and pre-stamped that and cut it out from one of the Simon Says Stamp talk bubbles. And then I got a gray piece of cardstock from my stash. This isn't one of the colors that come in the kit, but I really wanted to make it match the mug that I had colored. So I decided to just go ahead with the gray color cardstock. Then I also added a piece of white cardstock to the center area of the gray. And that's where I'm going to have my mug and my talk bubble adhered to. But because everything kind of blended together and I wanted to add a little bit of color to the front of the card, I went ahead and just adhered a couple of these strips of the pattern paper that I've pre-cut on either side of the white area, and then still allowed some of that gray cardstock to show through. So for the mug, I adhered that directly to the front of the card, just with adhesive, and then I adhered the talk bubble with some dimensional adhesive. And then to complete it, I added some sequins that come in the kit and rounded all 4 corners. And that's the card. It's just a fun, silly card created mainly with the stamps from the kit. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.